The last 3 days, or the last week, I should say, have been kind of crazy. I've been meeting a lot of people who have been saying the same thing to me over and over again in slightly different verbiage. Uh, I've heard basically what I've been hearing people say is that there's a solution to every problem. And it's crazy how many people have told me this. And it's definitely synchronicity. It can't be some kind of a random, meaningless occurrence. There has to be some kind of purpose behind that. And so it's actually really encouraging to know that God or the universe is watching us, and it knows everything that we're going through. And I don't believe in random events. I believe that there's a reason for everything, even if we don't understand it, even if we don't like it. And what I've heard is that there's an answer for my situation. There's an answer for my problems. And um, I've been fortunate that some of my wishes and prayers have been answered this month. And I have a few more. Um, Kind of an interesting thing that I would like to talk about is, and it's probably somewhat comical and not very important, but I'll say it anyways, is I want to raise my bed. I want to raise my bed because I want to put some boxes underneath it. And when I first thought about the idea, I really didn't know what I would do. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll put concrete blocks underneath my bed. And they didn't look good. I mean, the pavement blocks, the flat ones look good, but I really need to raise my bed about, well, it has to be 18 inches, between 16 and 18 inches. And that would mean that I would have to do probably, I guess, about eight blocks that I'm thinking of. And that's a lot of weight. That's probably 80 pounds, maybe 120. So I kept thinking about that, and then I talked to a neighbor who said, well, maybe there's a solution for your problem. And I said, well, yeah, but what is it? So then I went to Home Depot and I looked at some of the different crates that they had, but the crates look kind of flimsy. I can't really put my bed on the crates. So then I thought, well, I'll go on the internet. So I found um, some more options, but they didn't really look like they were safe. Then I thought, well, what about a metal pot, like a metal planter for planting flowers in? What if I got a metal one, like an iron one or a bronze one or a steel one, and I flipped it over, and maybe I put some boards across it so that I could lay my mattress and my box spring on top of it. And I thought, well, I don't even need the board. If it's truly a metal planter, then all I really need is just to put it underneath, a wheel. But I'll probably take off the wheel so my bed won't roll off. And I'll just set it on top of a planter. And it had to be an 18-inch planter, and it had to be a solid metal planter that is very sturdy and that can handle the weight. So that's one thing that I've been through. That's one solution that I'm thinking about. But it's amazing how these solutions come into our minds. Another one is with my book, The Pizza Toad. I'm thinking of basically taking out some of the more adult poems and just having a purely children's book of poetry. And then that would mean that I'd be able to use a lot of the other poems that I have not published yet, which are more adult themed, and be able to make an entirely new book of poetry. So that's another solution to my situation. It's really complicated and tricky to publish a book that has both adult and children's themes in it. And really, it's either one or the other. And so I was fortunate that the solution was presented to me by a neighbor. And I know, again, there's no coincidences. He was sent there by the universe or God to tell me this. And now the issue is, well, how much is it going to cost? And I know that the solution will come there as well. So there's always a solution, whether it's a monetary or financial problem that you may have, or it's some kind of a personal project that you need to uh, finish, but there's an obstacle in the way, or it could be a social problem, it could be a spiritual problem, emotional. There's always a solution, and they pretty much present themselves to us, but we often don't realize it, or we don't see it. And that's amazing if you think about it. If you just sit back and let the solutions come, think about it, brainstorm, don't rush into anything. Never rush. There's always a better way. And even when you find a solution, there might be an even better solution, which is even more awesome. So I'm so excited that I've been told this, that there's a solution to every problem, because it really helps out with moments when I feel down, I feel sad, I feel trapped. A lot of people can feel that way. A lot of people do feel that way. And they need to hear this message too, that there is a solution. Their problems might be a lot worse than trying to raise their bed. But still, the solution exists somewhere out there.